Well, welcome to our dbfs research team's views on union budget and later things. Basic ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഇതിനെപ്പറ്റി ഒരു അനാലിസിസ് നടത്താനും എന്തായിരിക്കും ഇന്ത്യയുടെ രാജ്യത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു മുന്നോട്ടുള്ള പോക്ക് എന്താണ്, നമ്മുടെ എക്കണോമി എന്താണ്, അതിലെന്തൊക്കെ കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് നടക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്, ഈ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് അതിലൊരു സിഗ്നിഫിക്കൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ടേണിംഗ് പോയിൻ്റ് ആകുമോ, ഇത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാനും അത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങളെപ്പറ്റി നമ്മുടെ കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സിന് ഒരു വ്യൂ ഉണ്ടാകാനും വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഈ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം ഇപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്. വി ഹാവ് കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സ് അക്രോസ് ഇന്ത്യ ആൻഡ് വി ഹാവ് കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സ് ഇൻ ദ മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ. Definitely a lot of people are watching this. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ we have to use both English as well as Malayalam also, like there is no problem in using Malayalam sometime, like basically we have to use English mainly. ഈ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം നമ്മൾ 3 സ്റ്റേജായിട്ടാണ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. നമ്പർ 1, ഇപ്പോൾ റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ കഴിഞ്ഞത്. റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു അനാലിസിസ്, എക്കണോമിക് സർവേ വന്നതിന് ശേഷം എക്കണോമിക് സർവേയും ബഡ്ജറ്റിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള എക്സ്പെക്റ്റേഷനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം. പിന്നെ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് ഡേയിൽ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് പാരലലി നടക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ലൈവായിട്ട് ഈ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് പ്രപ്പോസൽസ് എത്രമാത്രം മാർക്കറ്റിനെ ഇമ്പാക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു, എത്രമാത്രം ഏതൊക്കെ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രികൾക്കാണ് ബെനിഫിറ്റ് ഉള്ളത്, ടാക്സ് റെജീമിലുള്ള ചേഞ്ചസ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ്, ഇത് ലോങ് ടേം ബേസിസിൽ ഇന്ത്യക്ക് കൊണ്ട് വരുത്താവുന്ന സിഗ്നിഫിക്കൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ്സ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ്, ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ അനലൈസ് ചെയ്യും. ഇതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു റിസർച്ച് പാനലിൽ നമ്മുടെ റിസർച്ച് ടീമിലുള്ള 4 ആളുകളാണ് ഇപ്പോഴുള്ളത്. അതോടൊപ്പം വേറെ കുറേ ആളുകളൂടെ ഇത് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യും. സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റുകളായിട്ടുള്ള കമ്മോഡിറ്റി കറൻസി മാർക്കറ്റുകളിലൊക്കെ സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകൾ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യും. കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സിന് DBFSൻ്റെ കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സിന് എപ്പോഴും ഇത് അവരോട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിക്കാം. ഡയറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നൊരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ അല്ല ഇത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അവർക്ക് മെസ്സേജ് ചെയ്യുകയോ അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഇമെയിൽ ചെയ്യുകയോ ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസിന് മാത്രമായിട്ടുള്ള സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൻസേഴ്സും നമുക്ക് ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ കൂടെ കൊടുക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. ബഡ്ജറ്റ് ഡേയിൽ ഫുള്ളായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ 3 മണിക്കൂറോളം ലൈവായിട്ട് ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാം നടക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും DBFS കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സിന് ഇത് പ്രയോജനപ്രദമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സംഗതിയായിരിക്കും എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ വിശ്വാസം. ഇതുപോലത്തെ മേജർ ഇവൻറ്റുകൾ വരുമ്പോൾ ഇനിയുള്ള നാളുകളിൽ ഇത്തരം പ്രോഗ്രാം കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഫൈൻ ട്യൂൺ ചെയ്ത് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ശ്രമമാണ് നമ്മൾ നടത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും എല്ലാ DBFS കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സും ഇതിൻ്റെ സജഷൻസൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങളോട് പറയുക. ഇത് ഇമ്പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്ത് നമുക്ക് നല്ലൊരു പ്രോഗ്രാമാക്കി ഇതിനെ മാറ്റുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ലക്ഷ്യം. തുടക്കത്തിൽ ആമുഖമായിട്ട് ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു. ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് മെയിനായിട്ട് പറയാനുള്ളത്, ഇപ്പോൾ നരേന്ദ്രമോദി ഗവൺമെൻറ് വന്നതിന് ശേഷം രാജ്യത്ത് പല മാറ്റങ്ങളും ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. വളരെ വലിയ പ്രതീക്ഷകളുമായിട്ടാണ് ആളുകൾ ബഡ്ജറ്റിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നത്. സ്റ്റോക്ക് മാർക്കറ്റുകൾ ഉയർന്നു. അതുമാത്രമല്ല കാര്യം, അതായത് സ്ട്രക്ചറലായിട്ടുള്ള ചേഞ്ചസുകളൊക്കെ വരും, പോളിസികളിൽ ചേഞ്ച് ഉണ്ടാകും, ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് എക്കണോമി ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ശ്രമങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാകും. കഴിഞ്ഞ 3-4 വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് ഒരു റിസഷണറി ട്രെൻഡാണ് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ആ ഒരു ട്രെൻഡിൽ നിന്ന് മാറി എക്കണോമിക്ക് ഒരു ഹയർ ഗ്രോത്ത് പാത്തിലേക്ക് 4.5% നിന്ന് ഒരു 6-7-8% ഗ്രോത്തിലേക്ക് അടുത്ത 2 വർഷങ്ങളിൽ വരാൻ സാധിക്കുമെന്നുള്ള ഒരു എക്സ്പെക്റ്റേഷനിലാണ് ഇത്തരത്തിലൊരു ചേഞ്ച് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഗവൺമെൻറ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ആ എക്സ്പെക്റ്റേഷൻ എത്രമാത്രം ഫുൾഫിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും, അത് ഒരു പരിധിവരെ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ നടപടികളും പോളിസികളും എന്തായിരിക്കും, കഴിഞ്ഞ UPA ഗവൺമെൻറ് ചെയ്ത അതേ പോളിസികളാണെങ്കിൽ എത്രമാത്രം അത് ഈ ഒരു ടേൺ അറൗണ്ടിന് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യും, അതോ അതിൽ നിന്നും മാറിയിട്ട് ഉള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണോ ഉള്ളത്. ഇപ്പം അത് റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് വന്നപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ചില സൂചനകളൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടി. ഇപ്പോൾ ബേസിക്കലി റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എനിക്ക് ഉള്ളത് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് ഇപ്പോൾ കഴിഞ്ഞു. റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റിൽ വലിയ പ്രൊജക്റ്റുകളൊന്നും അനൗൺസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞ ഉടനെ തന്നെ സ്റ്റോക്ക് മാർക്കറ്റുകളിൽ വലിയൊരു സെൽ ഓഫ് ഉണ്ടായി ഇന്നലെ വൈകിട്ട്. അപ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഹൗ ഈസ് ഇറ്റ് ആക്ച്വലി വർക്കിംഗ്, എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് സ്റ്റോക്ക് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ സെൽ ഓഫ് ഉണ്ടായത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താണ് റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റിനെ പറ്റിയുള്ള മാർക്കറ്റിൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രതികരണം, മാർക്കറ്റ് ഇതിനപ്പുറത്തേക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചിരുന്നു, ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് ബേസിക്കായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഫസ്റ്റിൽ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്ന പോയിൻറ്റ്സ്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ വ്യൂസ് പറയാം. ആരാണ്, മനോജാണോ ആദ്യം സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? പറയും.
റെയിൽവേ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് ശരിക്കും വളരെ റിയലിസ്റ്റിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് റിയലി റിയലിസ്റ്റിക് ബഡ്ജറ്റ് വിച്ച് ഐ ഫീൽ. The announcements, basically government is focusing on the existing project because there is a lot of pending projects in the country that need to fulfill, and the major projects which required, the forthcoming project which government intended, in which lot of money required, in which the private participation, it is really appealing. That can attract more money to the country externally as well as internally. This can build more infrastructure, because our country is really striving for more infrastructure. This can lead more momentum in the economy. This is a major thing which I can see in the budget.
No, if that is the case, like why the market has reacted negatively yesterday?
Market basically overreacted to the past instances, basically the election and the election result, and Modi government is already reacted in a very positive, and maybe it is little over. So this is
so what we are essentially saying is that it's just a typical stock market phenomenon, like buy on rumor and sell on news, so the event is over. So there is an expectation built in. Immediately after the event, there is a sell-off in the market.
We have already witnessed a decent rally in all those
so
stocks.
there is a rally in all the stocks, and there is a expectation in some of the railway stocks and all.
Yes.
So that started correcting. That led to a massive correction in the market.
General
but
sentiment.
Can it be treated as a change in the sentiment and change in the direction of the market? Because see, once the market, ahead of the election, we see the market scaling to an all-time high level.
Yes.
For example, in case of Nifty, it was around 6,450, and in case of Sensex, it was around something like 21,500. Once that is over, and we have never gone back to that level, which means that essentially we are in a so-called bull market. Now, if it is a bull market, the question is that can the sell-off which happened yesterday, is actually the sell-off, because of the sell-off, we have a 2% loss in the index.
Yes.
And some of the railway stocks, there is a loss.
Yes.
10 to 20%. Downward movement is there.
Yes.
So, is it the beginning of a downward movement? Is it the bull market over, or for the time being, at least in the short term?
It's a short-term scenario which I feel. Basically, as I have told you earlier, market reacted little above the reality. So this is a technical correction, and market is bullish. We feel market is.
So essentially, I think there is. Let's look at it in perspective. 3 months ahead of the election, market started rallying. Actually, it started rallying from December, January onwards, from 5,700, 5,800 levels. Nifty was moving up, all without major corrections. It was moving up. It struggled a little bit at the all-time high level, and then after that, once it crossed, it was just one way. Ahead of election itself, we have crossed 7,000.
Yes.
And after elections, after this stellar performance in the election, it has gone even to a newer high, and just yesterday ahead of the railway budget, we have gone to an all-time high of 7,800.
Yes.
So if you are looking at it from that perspective, last 4 or 5 months, there was a continuous rally in the market. It is almost index level itself. You have something like more than 25% improvement in the index itself.
Yes.
And if you take specific stocks, some of these specific stocks have moved even much higher than that.
Yes.
Some of them have moved 50, 60, even 100% also.
Yes.
So that kind of gains coming in a shorter span of time, necessarily there has to be a correction in the prices and some adjustment in that prices. That is very much needed.
Correct.
And I think this railway budget is a trigger in that direction. Now let us look at the specifics of the railway budget also. I didn't see much of a problem with the railway budget. First of all, railway budgets, instead of announcing so many projects and then later not delivering anything, it's better that the railway minister said in his opening remark that I don't want to announce any new projects, too many new projects.
Exactly.
I want to focus on consolidating the activity.
Exactly.
So that itself is a change situation. And earlier years, you have all railway ministers, even some main budget also, they announce lot of projects. 50% of them really took off.
Correct.
And the remaining things, even those projects which are really taking off also, after that there is no follow-up activity, there is no fund allocation.
Exactly.
Naturally, it all get affected.
Exactly.
So that scenario is not there. So that is a positive aspect of the budget. Now, second thing is that government also is very realistic about their inability to really fund the railways. Let's understand
Correct.
that. If they want to fund the railways and take it, because everybody knows that railways are bleeding now.
Yes.
They are making losses. So if they want to continue that activity, they have to invest a lot of money. So
Definitely.
from where it is going to come? So they have to increase the taxes.
Yes.
So from that angle, government realizes its whatever inabilities, and they said, okay, we are not in a position to fund any more projects. So we want the activity to happen. So we will have public-private partnership PPP model getting coming into the market. Automatically, there will be investment, capital investments are coming from private players.
Yes.
And then on the services side, he puts the NGOs into it. He said, okay, let NGOs be there. So I think it's a very balanced approach,
Yes.
very practical and balanced approach.
I do feel that.
I mean, there is no reason for the market to have that kind of a massive sell-off. The only explanation is that, there is an expectation being built in, and there are positions being created using the leverage in the market, in the options or in the future segments or whatever it is. And once the event is over, these people have started rushing in to get out of the position. Some are lucky because they are able to get out in a early, in a profitable manner. Maybe some of our customers also.
Yes, definitely.
But those people have waited, especially traders.
Even we have been continuously advising those customers,
To book
our
profit.
customers, to book profit. You just
No, let's understand that. That I think needs little bit of a discussion, because these are all event-based movements.
yes, correct.
Yesterday's movement in this thing, what do you call railway stocks.
Railway stocks.
Or even today, we have this economic survey coming, and then we have all these things, like what do you call, budget coming.
Budget.
All these events are going to create a volatility in the market. And it's not so easy to play with that volatility.
Correct.
Unless you are a specialized trader who understands how to take positions and manage the risk. That is very important. You have to manage the risk. For example, you take positions in future segment. You have to manage the risk using options. Some kind of strategy has to be developed in playing with this volatility.
Correct.
Otherwise, these movements are very difficult to play. One thing is sure, booking profits is definitely a good idea, because nobody is losing in that.
Right.
Nobody is losing in that
Yes.
exercise.
Whatever
the thing is that the railway budget, what I analyze is that there was no specific in that. They are saying that exactly
That is
the
a negativity. Yeah.
FDI and the PPP model. What is that exactly? It is a broader term. Second thing is that the previous government has made a burden of 30,000 crores, and they have been just carried forward to this budget.
Okay.
The problem is that the government is only looking for they all just want to finish up this year because they can't make any serious actions on this financial year. And the second thing is that the new there are around 400 licensing, 400 projects which is been still pending. So they want to clear off the project which is existing.
Correct.
And second thing is that they want to make some kind of input to the railway by bringing some infrastructure projects, like as well as some kind of bullet train kind of projects.
Right.
So that exactly can create some kind of value addition to the railway, so that some kind of FDAs or some kind of PPP people find that exactly their kind of participation, which they can get an ROE from that kind of participation.
No, you are very right. You see, there is an allegation that there are no specific the budget lacks specifics. But let's take it in this way. The government is only 1 month old.
Yes, exactly.
And they are at this budget, through this budget, they are trying to put the ball running. They said, okay, this is the broader direction with which we want the railways to work in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
We have the inability to infuse money, so we open private partnerships and FDIs and all these things.
Yes.
And the specifics can come. They can take another 1 or 2 more months. Nothing is going to happen in this 1 month.
Okay.
All these years, most of our public sector enterprises are bleeding because of lack of decision making.
Yes.
Now, how can you suddenly expect a new government to come and take all the
Nothing can be
decisions and
done.
put all the specifics and everything on the budget note and put it in front of the people?
No one does.
Slightly, we are asking too much. That is what I feel.
No magic.
And moreover, the yesterday's railway stock comes to be beaten up because there was no clarity about the FDI, because FDI is what exactly the railway stocks.
No, but then again you have to look at it in perspective. Let's look at one by one these railway stocks. I think this needs little bit of discussion. Ahead of the Modi government getting sworn in itself, we have seen all the public sector stocks and the railway stocks,
Including railway stocks.
including railway stocks, moving ahead.
Yes.
You take a stock like Texrail. It has started moving from 27 to 143. You know,
We have
like,
been
so it has moved around 400%.
We have
So
been tracking the stock.
once Modi is in place and he said, okay, I want to strengthen the defense, I want to strengthen the railways. The moment he said that, there are, Texrail started moving from 27 to 50, 60 level ahead of elections, and after that, immediately after this announcement, it started moving again from there.
Correct.
And now 1 or 2 weeks ahead of this railway budget, the last leg of that rally happened, like from 110 level to 140 level. So it's the case with any other railway stock, like you have other railway stocks
Yes.
also, like
Kalindi.
Kalindi, Rail,
Kalindi.
all those
There
things.
is one,
Alstom.
Texrail is majorly into the wagon manufacturing, and Kalindi was into civil engine. So there was no few new coaches has been come, and that's
No, it's not that. See, the bigger point is that once this stock started, say, for example, let's take Texrail again. From 27, it started moving to say 50, 60 level. Still, there was a valuation advantage for that company because the
Yes.
company is making some profits and it's a running project. Now, railways is picking up, which means that they will get additional projects. A new government is in place. They have a new policy, including FDI policy, so that they get foreign investment. So every incremental news is positive for that stock. Now, from that perspective, the stock started moving up from say 20 to 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to say 50, 60. It's okay. But once it started moving from 60 to 70 to 80, I mean, you will not be able to see, any justification for that valuation.
Beyond certain
because
level.
beyond a level, you cannot expect all these positive things to happen on day one and in getting translated into profits of this company.
Correct.
So investors have to really understand this concept. This is not the case with Texrail or any railway stock alone.
Any of the stock.
Any stock which is running ahead because of some positive news flows, they have to understand that to maintain that stock level, it requires a performance, and that performance always comes with a lag. That is the main issue, and that lag may be sometimes 1 year, 2 year, 3
Yes.
year. It getting translated in, and by the
Definitely.
time the stocks have moved much ahead of fundamentals, naturally a correction is inevitable.
Will be there.
Now the question is that now that like in 2 days, I mean just after yesterday and even today, now some of the stocks have corrected by 20 to 30%. So is it a good time to get back into the stocks?
Correct.
My point is that it's better for investors to wait a little bit more, because now that there is a sharp sell-off, there is every chance for like tomorrow after a budget announcement, entire market going, if the market goes up, and tech stocks will also rally back. But from a pure valuation perspective, these are really good stocks. So you should wait for a little bit of this fall to stop at some point of time, and started once you see a consolidation.
Correct.
Maybe even from the bottom, even if it is 2, 3, or 5 rupees up, also it's not an issue. Instead of buying when there is a sharp sell-off happening, wait for the sell-off to subside, stock to consolidate at certain level, and from there you can buy. But there is definitely some, I think some good quality in some of the railway stocks. That is what I think. Because it's only going to be incrementally positive news for railways. Yeah.
They are not going to stop the decision. They are going to work on the decisions and get into the execution part.
Yeah.
So that is what exactly you can see in future exactly how this railway stock is going to perform.
This opportunity is going to be good for all the companies because a lot of projects are going to be coming up.
Good. Now the another point is that there are certain stocks which are called directly railway stocks. So after railway budget, ahead of railway budget, all rallied, and after railway budget, it came down. You see, there is another stock called Container Corporation. Now this Texrail has fallen by 40%, whereas the Container Corporation has fallen only by 4%. So what is that important for the investor? In my view, I think this is what exactly the point. If there is a quality stock, Container Corporation fundamentally very strong stock. Since it is priced above 1,000, generally investors will always feel that it's a high price stock.
Definitely.
Whereas Texrail is now at 100 rupees. It's a very cheap stock. Actually, it is not the case. It's because of the valuation. If from a pure valuation angle, at 100 rupees and at 1,200 rupees, Container Corporation is 50% cheaper. If you really analyze that.
Exactly.
And secondly, it is having a high quality, it's a predictable business. Definitely it's expected to grow. The only negative factor as far as Container Corporation is concerned is that, again, like Saji said, there are no specifics for railway budget with respect to dedicated freight corridor, DFCC. So that way, that is lacking. Because of that, the container movement and container traffic and all are some kind of an uncertainty. But from an investor point of view, this is a very good stock. I think dedicated freight corridor part is already announced. Project is going on.
Yes.
Funding is already done. I mean, means it's World Bank funding is there. Japanese funding is there. So both the funding is there. There is absolutely no need for railway stocks to, again the railway minister to announce about this, repeat this dedicated freight corridor part. So that is there. Container corporation is anyway going to grow. My feeling is that because there is a huge difference in the speculative activity in these stocks.
Correct.
Other railway stocks, they overreacted, like Manoj said, and then they started correcting also viciously. Whereas Container Corporation, they have also moved up along with the railway stocks, but their correction is minimum. So if you see another 5% correction in Container Corporation, I think people can think about. Definitely look about entering the thing.
Because usually people look for low price stocks rather than investing in high price.
Correct.
Because exactly that is not the picture. You should look the fundamentals also. That is the main thing.
See, these are, you see, a railway budget or a union budget always gives an opportunity to analyze the sector. There are also related stocks.
Yes.
Some of the related stocks like L&T, Reliance Infra.
Yes.
All those stocks are actually, some kind of, movements were visible yesterday morning. But I think, once you have a sell-off in these stocks, these are all not purely railway stocks, but when there is infrastructure development happening, but particularly this metro lines and other things, these companies tend to benefit, Yeah. And then now coming to the crucial question of this foreign direct investment in the sector. My feeling is that, this is the first time, I think that we haven't seen too much opposition to any of these proposals.
Nothing.
The only thing is that the minister said that he needs to move a separate cabinet note for FDI proposal. But he has made his intent very clear by saying that, okay, we want to move with an FDI proposal. So if the FDI proposal, see, the whole point is that, we are always looking at our neighboring countries, particularly China. China has been able to put almost 1,500 kilometers of bullet train networks and
Yes.
all, because railway is a lifeline for any country, economic activity. From that angle, they have been able to do fantastic things.
Yes.
Now, if Indian Railway wants to do on its own all these things, I think it will be very difficult.
The problem is that whether it should be put under the essential commodity part.
Which one?
Essential, the railway. That is the debate which is exactly putting forward to the opposition.
Yeah.
Because it is a low cost, passenger, because day and night people use railway for any purpose. They can't increase the fare because of a lot of other reasons.
No. See, let's come to the social side of the whole thing. How railways is useful to the public. See, because there are two aspects. One, I think the biggest aspects which nobody has discussed in this budget. Railways run basically on freight. That is their major revenue.
Yes.
Whatever profits they generate out on freight, they used to subsidize it for passenger traffic. Now, there is a clear understanding yesterday that the minister said, we want to develop the country, we want to develop the business, as well as we want to improve facilities for the passenger. How can it be achieved? It can be achieved only through, a rational fare system for both passenger and freight system. You cannot have a cross subsidization there. It will not work. So, from all these points out to one thing that now the people have also understood certain aspects that a mere populism is not going to serve the purpose. Now coming to the question of essential commodity and all these things, whether it is an essential commodity or not, end of the day we have to ensure that railways run on a profitable manner, and then there will be further investments, so that we can have all this high-speed network, dedicated network for freight, and there will be investment coming in. From that angle, FDI in railways is a welcome step.
Yes.
And it is an FDI, it's not a portfolio investment which is going to come on day one and going to exit on day 10 and things like that, nothing of that sort. So these are long-term serious commitments. And one more thing is required, I think, there is a general this thing that
oh, FDI is coming, so it is something very bad. Because who has got the compulsion to invest in India? I mean, there is no such thing, people have got n number of opportunities across the globe to invest the money.
Right.
So there is no compulsion for somebody to come. It's our duty to attract this money,
Yes.
let's put it that way.
Exactly.
We have to go and attract.
Foreigners have to find that opportunity. They already figure out the opportunity.
Correct.
They want to. We should clear up the hurdles to these foreigners to invest in this country.
Correct. I mean, that should be our approach, our approach should be a kind of a welcome approach that, okay, we welcome this thing, and I think from all these angles, I think we have to sum up this discussion. I think the railway budget is a reasonably good budget. Right?
It's a very
It gives an
realistic.
indication that government is seriously committed to putting the fiscal discipline and moving forward.
Yes.
If this is the approach, the disappointing part is you may not see immediate results because of this budget, but there is definitely results down the line.
Going to come.
So that is definitely going to excite the market.
Correct.
So see, you cannot rate the railway budget purely from a view that, okay, immediately after railway budget, the Sensex was down by 500 points.
We can't.
So if it is down by 500 points, it's a bad railway budget. No, nothing of that sort. What is our view?
It's not like that.
It's not like that. No, let's not.
People should understand that.
People should understand.
People should understand the potentials which is there in the
Because
railway infrastructure development, and the kind of policy actions what the government is planning to do is not for the short term, it's for the long term. And finally, the thing is that the private-public partnerships and the FDI systems and the kind of infrastructure, in the front of the introducing the bullet train kind of systems, the government is very much potential towards bringing the break-even of the railway.
lot of modernization.
When we have the ambassador cars only, we thought that is the best car in the world. Only when new cars came here, we understand that there are even better cars with better safety, better facility and all. So it's the case with railways.
Yes, yes.
Most of our Indians have gone only on trains, running between in India, maybe between Cochin and Chennai, or Chennai and Delhi. I mean, they don't know. There are a lot of things which has happened in this industry. There are high-speed networks, safe networks, very good facilities for passengers. So all these things are there.
Lot of
I think
facilities
this long-term thing is going to happen now. From that perspective, railway budget is a good thing. If it is a good indication of that, I think the general budget will also be a good thing. So we have to discuss about it later.
Don't be more populistic. Always they have the expectation.
They're not going to see immediately any announcements or big bang announcements. But even if the budget is good also, there can be a sell-off in the market.
Definitely.
That is a different
Sure.
issue altogether, which we need to understand. So our customers have to understand that there is nothing, no harm is done as far as railway budget is concerned. So from that perspective, there is no need for the people to be panic at all.
Yes, correct.
But having said that, traders have to think about their own strategies in terms of protecting a short-term downward movement. That is the first thing. Traders have to book profits periodically. That is the second thing. Investors also have to think about, restructuring their portfolio, based on, not based on railway budget, railway budget is relevant only to a very small number of stocks, maybe 5 or 10 stocks, For that, we have already discussed about the positioning. As far as pure railway stocks are concerned, wait little bit for more to enter the stocks.
I think most of our customers have booked the profit.
Very good.
We have booked the profit because we have given on a technical basis textile and a few of the railway stocks.
We have been continuously interacting for the past 2-3 days.
Very good. I've been people are watching this. Our research team has given suggestions to liquidate railway stocks ahead of the railway budget itself. Those who have done it, well and good. Those who have not done it, it's better to hold now. For those who want to enter it now, please wait for a little bit of time to stabilize. That is for the main railway stocks. Whereas for the related stocks like Container Corporation and other things, they can start thinking about entering into the portfolio even on a minor correction also. And other stocks like slightly unrelated but still connected with railway, like Reliance Infra and L&T and lot of other stocks which are being discussed. So those the positioning has to be taken after the union budget. Try to understand what are the general developments for the infrastructure and other related industries. I think this is the point. So to sum up, what we want to tell you is that railway budget is really good. There is nothing wrong with that. Market is slightly overbought because and the market also created positions in railway stocks ahead of the railway budget, mainly traders. That got liquidated after the event. That is why we saw a sell-off. I think the market is eagerly waiting for the economic survey report and the final union budget, which is going to come on 10th, so that like it can take a short-term directional view, whether it is going to be up or down or whatever it is. But one thing is sure, even if there is a very strong correction, the correction can go to 5 to 10%. That is normal in stock markets. Markets are again going to come up from that level because we have already turned a particular cycle now. We have started seeing improved data coming up, like whether it is interest rate or inflation or anything of that sort. There is incrementally positive data coming in the years to come. So that will eventually take the markets to newer highs, like that is what we have to understand.
Yes, correct.
So that if there is a sharp correction after union budget, it's a good opportunity.
It's a good opportunity to buy.
To enter that,
To enter.
but what should be the strategy of the investor for union budget, we will discuss in the next program.
Okay.
Okay? So thank you very much.